All right, season 6, episode 1. April CPO. How in the world are you?
I'm great.
You look great. You look great. Did you have a
Thanks.
good dinner?
I had dinner yet today, actually.
You haven't had dinner? So we're recording in the evening at night, basically, and you haven't had dinner. Wow. Okay. All
No.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Well, I
that's
have.
fine.
It's
Eating
been
is, eh.
it just kind of happens when it happens.
Yeah, you just have to eat to live, not live to eat.
Oof. Now we agree on a lot of things. And I don't know if I could jump on board with that. I like food. I really do like food. So, okay. Well, agree to disagree. That's fine.
We have a
Yeah, we had a
different,
big day. Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
we have a different vision when it comes to that, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fine, but
It's perfectly
it's
okay.
fine.
No
It's
worries.
fine.
No problem. I just won't let you cook for me then, if that's the case.
Good, because you'll be waiting, bro. You'll be waiting a
Nice.
long time. You waiting, bro, because
Awesome. Yeah, well, I'm excited about this new season. I mean, this is episode 1 of season 6, which is crazy.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
crazy to
what do you
think
got to
about.
It
I'm
is.
just,
So, what do you have in
yeah.
store?
Well, I'm excited because we're going to be talking about really leading out loud, is what I'm thinking. Like, we talk about media, we talk about getting our voice out there, getting our story out there. And usually, people, when they put their stuff out there, are they thinking about that everything they put out there is pointing to them leading their business and being a good business leader and how important it is? Like, the social media piece is not just the dot and the I and crossing the T. Like, it's a really big part of what you need in this day and age to really grow your business. But in order to even do that, you have to first have a vision of yourself. I believe no matter what industry you're in, as sort of this thought leader. Like, okay, whatever industry I'm in, whatever business I'm in, I want to put myself out there so I can lead with vision. I can position myself so that people know, hey, I am an expert in this field. And hey, I have a solution that is going to help you with whatever your problem is. So I want to first unpack, what does it even mean to lead with vision? We talk about everybody needs a vision, have a vision, know your why, but what does it mean to actually lead with that, right? And it's, for me, yes, it's, what are we going to do? Let's set some goals, but it's more about how are you going to be guided, right? So your vision is actually the thing that's going to guide you in your goals, guide you in your decision making. And I think people don't think about that. I think they have a vision statement and then they put it on a shelf and then they just kind of now go do their own thing. Let's set some goals and let's get our brain out there. Let's get our name out there. But do we actually revisit that vision and lead with it? I don't know. I don't know if people actually do that.
Yeah, I like that. As you're talking there, I'm thinking among many benefits, but one of them would be it's a continuity of action that kind of builds and relates, and it's all connected. It's not random things. Leading with vision. I mean, you have a vision and you're putting your things out there and everything, and all that's great, but there's things are intertwined. It's kind of threaded together.
Yeah, it's almost like a compass, right? So, like, think about it. If you think of yourself as a thought leader, then when you post on social media, you're not just posting to post, you're posting to put yourself in position, right? It's like you're leading with some sort of intentionality. So, yes, I'm going to post and be visible, but that's just the surface. It's like I want to not only be visible, but now I want to influence. Now I want to help make an impact. Now I want to make sure people are experiencing transformation. And now there's a lot of thought going into what I'm showing out there, or how am I showing up in media, right? Because we don't want to just show up online just to show up online. We really have to move to this idea where I'm helping to shape people's thoughts to help them live a better life. Because no matter what industry you're in, if you have a solution to someone's problem, then ultimately you're helping them create a better life. And so, all right, I'm created to help this person create a better life. So now I got to start thinking along those lines, like, man, like, I'm actually helping lead people's thoughts in this direction. And that comes with a lot of responsibility.
that's a big responsibility. I mean, when you're putting yourself out there as a professional and you're coming out as the go-to for whatever kind of industry organization that you're responsible for, business, yeah, I mean, you're building a brand, but you're building an audience, you're building you're building followers, and that again, that's leading people in a direction, and it's a big responsibility.
Yeah, and maybe you're listening to this and you're like, okay, where do I start with this? And I always think about this statement: I want to lead others to, you fill in the blank, by helping them, you fill in the blank. So it's like with your industry, with your business, what you're putting out online, where are you actually leading people to, right? And so when we think about We Dream Media, like we want to lead others to elevating their brand by helping them dream what's possible for them with media. And so everything we do is pointed to that. Even if you listen to the podcast, we've talked about stories, we talked about sharing your story, we talked about building a digital footprint, visibility. Like all these things are helping people elevate their brand. We're leading people to elevate their brand. People may have one idea about what their brand is or could be. And now, hopefully, hanging out with us, they're like, oh, wait, maybe my brand can be elevated. Oh, maybe there's more ways I can reach my people. Oh, I can do that to connect. We're leading them to think about their brand. And so I just think whoever's listening to this in whatever industry you're in, you have to really graduate from just throwing information out at people to actually leading the people to a destination.
That's a it's the way you're saying that, it paints a really good picture because it's not empty words. You're not doing it for, oh yeah, I have a goal of 3 posts, so I gotta do my posts, or I put it on my schedule to batch record, to batch content create, or whatever it is, and so I have to do that. I mean, it's putting a purpose behind it. Um well, coloring. I mean, that's a good way to put it. I mean, it's putting just more detail and a purpose behind what we're doing and what people are actually putting out as far as their content.
Yeah. And one thing to think about as you're putting this content out is, okay, if I lead with vision, that means my content is going to really be covered with authenticity and trust,
Yeah.
because we know those are the two things that build influence the fastest, right? And so if I'm putting things out there where people know I'm being real, all right, now I want to hear what you have to say, because I know you're not just saying something just to say it. So now my ears are kind of perked up. Like, all right, there's some authenticity there. I trust you. I'm going to let you into my world and see what you have to say. There's some influence there, right? And then it's also sharing the journey. That's why we talk about stories constantly. Because now it's like I got that authenticity and trust. So I'm letting you influence me. And now as you're sharing your story, you're letting me know, man, there's something else that's possible for me than what I'm experiencing right now, right? So you're giving people a glimpse of, wait, it's possible to elevate my brand, or it's possible to, I don't know, if you're a business that helps young moms, you build toys for young moms. Just is so random, but just for example, you're showing people the possibility that you actually can have items in your home that help your kids play plus develop educationally or whatever it is, right? You are letting people know there's something different possible for them by simply sharing your story. And then I would say underneath all of that is the value that you're adding, right? So now I believe in what you're saying because you've added value to my life. And so we're taking people on this kind of train, like, all right, let me lead with my vision. I want some influence in your life. There's the authenticity and trust. I'm sharing my story and I'm going to make sure I'm adding value to your life. And if we can do all of those things with what we're sharing online and in media, I really, really believe that's a really good foundation to leading with this vision you have for solving a problem for people.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great example you gave. I mean, it's a means to an end. It's the vehicle we take to get to the destination, and the destination is something that we see. Not only do we see value in it, but we're not only in it for self gain. We're in it. The organization business. We have a product. We have a service that we're in this for you. We see an issue and we see a problem. We want to try to resolve it, and we believe in the solution so much so that hey, I'm gonna use this as a vehicle to get to where, not only where I want you to, but where you want to be. And maybe you don't know that you want to be there. Maybe the client or the customer doesn't know that yet, but that's what the content's for. That's the vehicle that we take to land at the destination that not only do we want them there, but where they eventually will realize they want to be there too.
Yeah. I mean, just think about, okay, we talk about social media a lot. Let's just think about a basic commercial, right? So it's like you're sitting on your couch watching a commercial and you weren't even thinking about food, right? There's this commercial that's leading you to think that you want this thing. And all of a sudden you're hungry, right? And now you are figuring out, how can I go get this ice cream or whatever. So it's just like the same thing. Like we're presenting people with things and we are helping them, or should I say leading them to this thought that makes them take action. And I think that's really the ultimate thing, that we want people to take action, like you said, that benefits them. Now, I'm not saying an ice cream cone will benefit you. So um I'm not saying
Really? Are
that.
we saying that again? I don't know if I can jump on that train, April.
I'm just saying they're leading you, that commercial, whatever, is leading you to take some sort of action. And I really feel like that is truly leading with some sort of vision. Now, I do want to say this before we wrap up. Just because you're leading someone somewhere doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out.
Hmm.
And I think that's important to say, because I know there are some startup listeners, like you may have a startup company. There are people listening to this podcast. You're further along in the journey and you're like, okay, I got you. I know we have some people who are just starting off and you may be hesitant to lead people somewhere because you yourself think, I'm still trying to figure this out. But I want to encourage you, like, you are leading people through your story and leading people by how you navigate certain things, not necessarily always by just how you're successful with something, or like yes, you can lead people showing, like, I'm successful at this, now let me lead you. But then we also can lead people by showing them, hey, I'm navigating this, come navigate this along with me. And I think both are equally important.
Listen, you caught me without my notebook. I mean, that is so noteworthy. I mean, like, if you're listening to this, you need to write that down and you need to put it like on your bathroom mirror or something. Not to get like super deep, but getting a little deep on this. Like, I think maybe our moms and dads, our grandparents and generations before, they wouldn't say that. They would say, I want to listen to the expert. If I'm giving you my attention, I want you in a suit, tie, business suit of some sort, and clacky shoes, whatever it is. But I need you to be the professional and know everything that there is to know about whatever topic. And in 2025, it's not that way. I mean, this is a great example. Having a podcast like ours and like millions of others, having content creators, millions of those, um, it's not that way. And I could, like, sure, are there some that maybe lead people down the wrong path? Yeah, sure, there are. But that's a choice. And it's also, it's like what you're talking about. Like, how much I can get a lot out of someone going through something similar that I am, and it's also relatable that I can see a struggle that they're having. That, oh my gosh, I can totally relate to that. I'm having the exact same struggle, or it's very close. It's mine's a little bit shifted this way, but that solution that they came across, or they found out, is something that would help hundreds, thousands of people, millions of people, depending on what platform it is. So another thing you're talking about too is, and again, this is something that I value our friendship because, in our business together, because you've really helped me. I'm one of those people that will analyzation paralysis. Like, I'll just sit down and just wait until the planets align, until I'm ready to go, because I don't want to look like an idiot. And not that anyone that jumps quicker does it. It's not like, but because I make it into and I make that into my, that's what I see in my brain. And it's not necessarily truth. It's more of a lie than anything.
No, I appreciate you. I mean, we work well together because I'll jump off a building into a fire, and you're like, wait, we're gonna jump off the building, but can we put out that fire first? Like, I don't want to break my leg and burn. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, just one injury at a time here. Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So it's a team effort for sure, but definitely bringing a lot to the table collectively, with our strengths, because together, obviously, we want to help you elevate your brand. In this day and age, media is where it's at. And if you aren't connected to some form of media, you definitely will be left behind. It's just the reality of it. I know people don't want to embrace it fully for whatever reason. There's 1,000 reasons we can go into why people don't embrace it fully. But let me just encourage you, like, there's a way to do it that doesn't have to be overwhelming, and that can truly elevate you and put you in front of people that you are really meant to help. So just encourage you to connect with us if you want to talk about strategy, if you want to make sure that you are not just showing up online, but you're actually leading people to the solution that you offer, then definitely we love to connect with you. So, any final thoughts, Mitchell? I just love talking about this so much.
No, I mean, it's again, I mean, I think one thing that people, I hope they realize with our podcast is that, yeah, we'll help, with ideas on creation, on elevating brands, on technology, on how to do things, on whatever that. But there's just a lot of value in not only just all that, but the business aspects and understanding that when you do feel this way, there's just we hit so many things, and I'm excited to have a platform to where that we can just share our thoughts on all this stuff. So I'm pumped, pretty excited.
Yeah, super exciting. Hey, if you have not already subscribed to this podcast, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, because you don't want to miss an episode, especially this month, as we're digging into some really foundational things that are going to help you lead better in your business as you show up in media. And so we can't wait to see you on the next episode. Make sure you're following us on Instagram so that we can connect with you. DM us if you have a question, but we are ready to help you elevate your brand. And together, we
We
dream
dream
media.
media.